A criminal investigation into the events leading up to January 6th is getting closer to former President Donald Trump. As first reported by the Washington Post, the Justice Department is looking into specific elements of his efforts to overturn the 2020 election after refusing to accept he lost. The former president repeated his lies about the election yesterday during his first speech in Washington since leaving office. CBS News has learned he is considering launching another bid for the presidency in 2024. For what all of this means, we're joined now by CBS News Chief National Affairs and Justice Correspondent Jeff Pegues. Jeff, good morning. Always good to see you. As you know, the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has said that he is open to charging former President Trump for his role in the January 6th attack. But what type of information would have to actually be revealed for that to happen?
Well, investigators would try to find evidence of intent, of motive. You know, was the former president actively involved in this effort to find fake electors to disrupt the outcome of the 2020 election? So, to say that they're going to charge a former president, you're going to have a pretty airtight case. So they are looking for as much evidence as possible. There's a lot of pressure on the AG to wrap this up before the midterms. It's unclear whether anything like that will happen. But what we know, Jerika, is that this criminal investigation is moving forward. And while it's too early to say whether the former president is the target or a target of the investigation, what is clear is that the people around him, some of his aides, are definitely in the crosshairs of prosecutors.
And, you know, politics has never seen anything quite like this. What kind of impact could this have on that 2024 presidential bid, to have this investigation going at the same time as the former president saying he's basically planning to run again?
All right, well, you know, we thought 2016 was an unusual investigation, but that would add a whole nother wrinkle. Because let's say, and this is just speculation here, but let's say the former president throws his hat in the ring, he says, I'm going to run, then let's say he's indicted. I suspect that the former president will be the kind of candidate who doesn't bow out of the race. He'll probably keep going in the race. So there are so many different scenarios that those of us in Washington are sort of playing out right now. And I think about that, frankly, when I see the Attorney General. The other day I asked him, are you and your team weighing this question about whether to charge, whether to indict a former president? Because imagine being in the AG's seat where you have to make a decision like this is unprecedented. And I think sometimes people lose sight about how unprecedented these times are. So there are interesting months ahead, and how this affects the 2024 election, we'll just have to see.
And in that interview recently with Merrick Garland, he said that there's no fear or favor when it comes to justice. So he's not showing his full cards, as he wouldn't at this time.
Well, and remember, he's a former federal judge, and he runs the Department of Justice like a former federal judge. He has said that he's trying to keep politics out of it, but no matter where he comes down on this decision, he's going to be criticized.
Yeah. Jeff Pegues, again, always good to see you out there this morning. Thank you so much for your insight.